This is a maximally low-tech recipe, and it works incredibly well even though we're doing everything in old-fashioned ways. Start with a third of a cup of chickpeas, about a quart of water, bring them to pressure in a pressure cooker, let the rocker rock for about 10 minutes, then shut it off. I do this first thing in the morning so that it can just sit there, pressure come down naturally, and actually they're cooking for several more hours. About an hour before I want to serve, I drain off the original water, add fresh water, and do the same thing again. So mine are really, really soft when done. Starting totally from scratch means 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds rather than beginning with tahini. This is an unpolished granite mortar and pestle, otherwise known as molcajete, and it does an incredibly efficient job of grinding those seeds to a powder, almost a paste, very, very fast. For those who want to know, this is a Chef Sophie 2-cup version. They also sell a larger one. The sesame's all ground up and we're ready to add other ingredients. The skins have cooked off of the chickpeas, and it's fairly easy to just pick them out because I don't want them in the hummus. But I have found a faster way. Put half of the chickpeas in a bowl and fill it with clear water. And when you do that, the skins will float and you can just pick them out, and that's faster. Strain off the water so they can be used, and then repeat with the second half of the chickpeas. The order in which the spices are added is not critical, but this is a good time to add in some salt to taste to make sure it gets well distributed. Working with the 2-cup set, it's best to now do a little bit of grinding, otherwise the thing gets too full and everything gets compacted as we use the pestle and pound it down. And it's very easy. I say pound, but it's a gentle motion. It's not difficult. While doing this, it's possible that you will find a skin or two that you missed, and it's easy to just fish them out and set them aside. When everything is pretty creamy, it's time to add garlic if you like it. We do. I'm using 1 whole clove of some elephant garlic and incorporating it in next. This is a good time to add the oils too. I squirt in about a tablespoon of olive oil and just a few drops of sesame oil. The sesame is because tahini would normally have sesame seeds plus oil, so I'm adding the plus oil now. The product is okay without sesame oil added, but it's a little bit more interesting, richer taste with it added. Garlic is firmer than chickpeas, of course, but it's easy to feel and crush it when you find a piece with the end of the pestle. Hummus normally has a little bit of lemon juice added. If you're out, as I am, a half a packet of true lime powder will make a good substitute. It works fine. Finally, pepper to taste, whether whole or pre-ground. Just blend it in the same manner as everything else, and it'll be ready to eat. There are all kinds of ways to eat it, and it's just delicious. Also good for you. Total time with the mortar and pestle is probably 10 minutes tops. Roughly half the time is spent grinding the sesame and the other half doing the remainder. Although specific amounts are listed, consider this to be more a method rather than a recipe. It's almost always successful to substitute with more or less of this and that, different herbs and so on. The granite mortar and pestle just rinse out. They're not difficult to clean at all. And it's really fun to see a primitive tool doing such a stellar job. I really think this is easier than the blender method. Do-it-yourself hummus is also incredibly inexpensive. All these ingredients add up to less than $1.